Alright boys, welcome to today's vid. Today we're doing a little bit different, not going to do a settings vid. A few people have been asking, why not? Might as well do. I go through each setting, like what it does and why. Starting in gameplay here. The split screen layout, that's still preference. Cross-platform play doesn't really matter in my opinion, but I just turn it on for rate on high. Input buffer, this is just like preference. There's no real like difference between the two that like I know personally, because I don't run the input buffer servers, just don't have it on default unless you're playing at the servers. If you're lagging, switch it. I don't know. I just run. No, that's just visions again. That's like seeing that, and up to you. I would turn it on. A lot better. Competitive ranks, do you want this? Why wouldn't you want this? Want to know your rank? MMR, yeah. Wouldn't want it. I would just put it. Only could fine as well, maybe. It's preference between these three, just don't have it all. Team colors on. I do this just placebo because if like the opponents have like a black or white team color or something like on plan, just annoying. I don't know. It's placebo. If you have it on, then everything will be consistent. All stats. You turn this. That's only. I just have it all stats. I've been playing. Just preference. All of these are just preference so far. The only thing I would say is definitely show MMR and definitely the team colors I would recommend. Tournament schedule, just make sure this area I'll have like the times of really hard to queue. And you'll queue in the middle. Not good for the pit. Unless you're there. Alright. This honestly, skipping drop animations, this is fine for me because I get a lot of random drops and I don't open them often, but if you like, it's just preference. If you like the animation. The preset indicator, I would have this on 100%. It just lets you know if you have to reset or not. There's no point to not have this on. The only time I would say to turn it off is if you're like, you have a reset or not. Have this reset indicator. Camera settings, actual good part. 110 field of view. I used to play 109 like between these two. The lowest I would go is 108, but 110 is what I play on. 270 distance, lowest 260, highest 280. In my opinion, 270 is like in the middle. Maybe you want to go a little bit lower, but I would stick with 270. It's a really good distance. Gives you enough like view of the field, like you'll feel in control, but awareness. Height is 90. It's a little bit low, but the meta changed a while back. Since I started playing, it was at like 110. I just put it down to like 90. Helped out a little bit with control. Puts you like more on the same level as your car. But my height is low and my angle is high, so it's a very like flat-ish kind of thing where I'm like low to the ground. My angle's tilted further, so it just gives you more control. The angle, you want the angle and height to match each other. So if you have like a really high 120 or something, you want the angle to be probably a little, maybe even like 5, but I play on 90 too. But this just points like towards your car. So if I have it on 0, I have it on this very, very much towards higher, the higher your height. I have it pretty high even though my height's low. 0.45. Some people play on like 3.53. Play up like. Stiffness is really just preference. Whatever you've played on for the most, just play on that. Unless it's something like really weird, like some like 80. I wouldn't play on that. I would like recommend like 50 to like 30, that range, or just 1.0. That's just like 1.0 is fine. I know Leth used to play on that. I don't know if it does anymore. Definitely played on that for a while. So it's not bad. It's just it's pure preference for stiffness. You get like maybe like motion sick or something, or like maybe you can't like handle extra move. Harder to see how fast you're going if you have the stiffness like that. That's the only downside, but that's especially if you have an actual like problem. Swivel speed 7. It's just kind of old stuff right here. How confident you are on controlling your right joystick. 7, I have it because I have like an extension of my right joystick from playing like FPSs. But it's just turn this to like probably I would recommend like 4.5 unless you're like pretty confident in control of it, but you don't want this really high. 7's kind of, it's not that bad. 7 like you with a normal joystick as well, but 7's not that bad. Be the settings if you really want to experiment with it. The transition speed, you want this, yeah, I would say 1.7 unless you're new to the game. Like if you're somewhere in like, I gotta give a rank, it would be like diamond and below. I would keep this below like 1.5, 1.4. The only time you want to get it up is because when you don't need that information in between. Is when you click your ball cam and like car cam on and off there, it transitions like faster the higher this goes. This would just be like instant and like would be like very slow. If you don't need the information in between your car cam and ball cam and you already have like the game sense and awareness of it, I would turn this up. But if you have like you're new to the game, you don't have that. But want to turn this down, like somebody's trying to bump you. When it's on the ceiling all of a sudden, you know, it's very helpful when you have this lower, but higher ranks where like it like up to like help you because helps you get a quicker to like your cam or to the boost so you know where you're going, stuff like that. The higher it is, more control you have on your car. The lower it is, the more control the actual play between the ball cam. This I just turn it to 0, just turn it off. You don't need to be sitting where you got done 12 years. Turn it to 0. You want to know what side you're spawning. You want to know in the if the smoke cloud wasn't there, I would recommend putting this up, but you can't see anything, so you're not getting information. This is 0, at least you get some information for your spawning. Which turn this to 0. This purely preference. If you've played with this a lot in other, just off, do whatever. That's pure. Oh yeah, also camera shake. Do not turn this on. Controls 1.4, 1.4. The only thing I would say with the sensitivities is don't go above 2. It purely depends on like your dead zones and your controller, but I wouldn't go anywhere above 2. I wouldn't go anywhere below 1.3, like 1.2, depending on like how new you are. 1.4. The biggest thing for this is stay with a sensitivity. If I had this sensitivity for probably 6 months now, but if I stayed with it the entire time, the amount of consistency compared to what I have right now would be huge. I would just say stick with 1. Once you see this vid, you go to your stuff, you check out what sense you feel like, all right, this is pretty good. Even if it's like 1.9, if you want to go up to like 2.0, that's fine. The only thing is stick with it. Do not change it. That goes the same with these two. Do not change these 4 things after you set them. They have to be decent. So I will give you the ranges like this. I wouldn't go below 1.2 and I wouldn't go above 2.0 unless you're really mechy and you're really good. Also depends on obviously like if your controller's like able to handle that or not. But controller dead zone, I put it at 0.1, but a lot of pros play like 0.7. I just have it on 0.1. It only really affects how far you have to move your stick to start affecting these two. Since I have a low sensitivity, you don't really want this that high. I would probably put it lower, but this just gives you like you won't misflip nearly as much if you have these low. Especially with this one being 7, but this is just in general. If I push my stick all the way to the right, then in game, my car would turn all the way to the right a lot slower compared to if this was at all the way to the right if I barely touched anything. I would put this at 0.07 to 0.010. That's the range for this. Dodge dead zone, the lowest I would go is 0.6, highest I would go is 0. Purely depends on like if you have drift or not, because a lot of controllers have stick drift. do recommend getting a Hall effect controller so you don't have to deal with that. But if you do really want to have a controller that you effect or something, fine. I would just put this anywhere between 0.6 to depends on. This is if you misflip a lot, turn it up. Don't misflip at all, and you kind of feel like you can't really get those like flips off as quickly as you want. You can slowly turn it down so you get to a point where it's like, okay, wait, I'm misflipping a lot up, and then you find your sweet spot eventually over time. 0.7 is good for me, so hey, that's preference. I'm not doing KVM because so the controller vibration, I would just turn this off. You can have it on. It's not going to be the end of the world if you turn it on, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, going into this, I have my boost on RB and Powerslide on LB. This is something that is unique, but it's not like the end of the world. It's very starting to become meta and pro, so I kind of like picked it up like a few weeks ago. The boost on RB, I'll show you on the other stuff, but it doesn't affect anything. That way you can actually aerial a lot quicker. It's helpful like higher gameplay. Don't mess up like your aerials. Powerslide on this, you can have this on the same as your air roll. It doesn't matter since your air roll and your Powerslide are different things. Powerslide happens on the ground and air roll happens in there. Have it. The only thing is, I would say that I've felt when I had this is sometimes like you catch yourself power sliding preemptively, which ends up making you full recovery. It just takes some practice. Air roll on LT, this is normal. This is just fine. I mean, it's the same, the button right below my air roll, so not the end of the world, but you don't really need this if you have both air rolls, but I only learned one, so. Air roll right on LB, same as my Powerslide, so, you know, that's how the air roll I play with, and then this is on X, so that speed flips on that direction. It's not that big of a deal, but, you know, if it's X, it's not, it's whatever. This one you don't need, you just need one. I wouldn't recommend binding both unless you play with both. Like once you master one, you can move on to the next one. I do not play good with arrow left. I play with arrow right. Arrow left is only there for speed flips, half flips, stuff like that. Just small things and recoveries. The rest is pretty default. Obviously, I had to move my scoreboard to here, but it doesn't matter. You know, scoreboard really doesn't. Even if you want to put on like a back button, if you have it on your controller or something, it doesn't matter. That's the only thing I'd say on your here is biggest thing for this would be put your air roll as the same as your Powerslide. Interface, this is all very, very default. I turn this off just because I don't need it on my screen. I'll be real. I can tell if I'm looking at them. But I have metric on because pretty much everybody plays with metric except for, you know, US, but it doesn't really matter. This is all a preference. What they do. This is like the thing I'm looking at right now, the scale of each thing on your screen. This I think will change your like when you pause the game. That will change this. Play is like Y. It's pretty much your FOV in our game. So if you have like a really weird resolution, you can turn this down so that it won't change your res, but it'll change the size of the screen. If that makes any sense? This is just put this on 100. Do not change it unless you have a really, really niche scenario where like what you're playing on is weird. Main play skill, I put this on 200. Some people play like a little bit lower because it's distracting. 200 is fine. As long as you can see the nameplate, I would not put this on like 50 or like even 100 ever. The lowest I would ever go is probably like 140. Put this on 200. Call it a day. If it's a distraction, not go below like 120. Gameplay mode is default. Don't turn this on to simplified or nearby only. You want to see them wherever they are. Batch notifications, you could just turn this off if you like to the like kickoffs only or like updates, but I don't mind having it all on. Fine, it's just kind of part of the game. It gives you a little bit of info. Can't hate on info at all. Connection quality, you want this on. Definitely something you need on is if you're experiencing an issue, you want to know what the issue is. You're having like latency or something, it could your ping or thing that could be latency, but then if you server quality on your screen, probably getting DDoSed or the server is just dying. But hey, you want to know what's happening. That just gives free info and it's just useful. Fix it or maybe you can't. It just helps if you're like worrying about it. Colorblind mode, I don't know. I just like how this looks. A bit more contrast in the game. I don't know. I just turned this on because I liked how it looked. I'm not actually colorblind, but I just like how it looked. Yeah, I would actually probably turn this off for like 95% of the people should turn it off. The only time that you want this on, if like you've limited your friends list to the point where everybody who invites you is somebody like you actually want to play with. Because I know a lot of people have friends that they do not even know who they are. So you want to turn this off most of the time, unless you have like a scrimming group or a team or something that you should be aware of. Then you turn this on. I have it on because I have a team I play with, so I scrim a lot as well. So you want to keep that on for me. Most people should turn that off if you're an average RO player and you have a lot of friends at the time. You want to focus on the game. Item shop. Honestly, I'm turning this off right now. I don't know why that on. There's no point to have that on, but item shop, you can just turn that off unless you're praying for like if you're like a trader, you like want a collection or something, I guess you could have it on, but it just turn it off. Normal player that like team color boost meter, this is also just preference. Turn it on, turn it off, but like it is what it is. Just changes the slight glow of the boost meter on the bottom right. So yeah, I talked about metric, just almost everybody uses, so it's at least like universal thing. Turn this off. It doesn't really help you that much because you can tell after playing a while how fast a ball is through these. Like even if I'm an American, I know miles per hour, but APH is still fine. I still understand it because of playing with it in Rocket League. Ball cam indicator, turn that off. Honestly, you can turn this off too, but this is sometimes okay when you're like balls above you and you don't really know what it is. So I would keep this on for most. Like it's a 50-50. You hate it, not that big of a thing on your screen. Up to you. Performance graphs, only turn this on if you like really need to have it, and I would turn it on a short. I think this one, yeah. Performance summary is the best. It just gives you your frames and then like a few other things that you don't really need to know, but your FPS and like GPU are the only thing you really know. If you turn it on, if you're having some issues, yeah, sure, it helps you know what you're having in game. That's about it. Convert friend platforms, yeah. I mean, I turn this on, turn this off, it doesn't matter. A lot of friends that I don't know, so. Okay. I play in 1080p full screen. This is just bring this to a, what's it called? Aspect ratio. 16:9 is because I play on a 16:9 monitor, but if you have on ultra wide, you want to like up this. If you have something below it, you don't want to have this. The only thing here is put it at a resolution that is good for you. Like this would work for mine as well. That's 720p at 16:9. I play in 1080p, but fine. Make sure you have that on the same aspect ratio as your monitor. I play in full screen. Borderless is fine as well. Most people, most actually really good players, play full screen in like competitive play, but like most of the time they'll play borderless. Borderless like very, very minorly affects your yes, and it just helps you like tab out a little bit quicker, but I don't mind playing full screen. I tab out relatively fast. I don't care about that. This is this or this. Just do not play windowed. Not smart. You don't want to be playing windowed. It'll just distract you. Give you like a white bar at the top. Okay, so for Soul Sync, don't turn this on unless you have a really, really bad monitor. If you have a really bad monitor that tears a lot and like your GPU can't handle it or something like this, turn it on. It's fine. It just like stops like the screen from tearing. Like when you're like tearing, tearing is like, I can describe it, is when you like tab out sometimes and you have like a black screen or like part of the screen like kind of like rips. That's what tearing would be. If you have that consistently, turn this on. If you don't, most people won't, so just turn it off. It slightly reduces your like FPS, so it's not great. I would turn this off. All this does is like destroy your FPS. Again, if this is like something issue with or your GPU can't handle stuff, turn this on. Both of these is for like GPU. If you have like a low quality one that can handle the game, I would turn this up, but most people have something that can handle Rocket League. It's not that intense of a game. Render quality, I would put this at least at quality. I have it on high quality because I can handle it, but some people won't be able to. I would put it at quality. Never go to performance or high performance. Render quality matters a lot, especially like it just lets you see further in the field. Actually, want to show you this in I can show you. You'll just change the distance of the field. So like here, if I go to the other side of the field, you're just looking at the other side of the field. I turn this down. High performance. My car itself didn't change that much, but look at the end of the field. I would not be able to see anything. Turn this down to performance. Get like that same effect where the end of the field is barely visible, and it starts like, if I move my camera a little bit, or if I'm driving or something, if I do this, you can see how it like ends and stuff are like overlapping, and it's just distracting. You don't want that. You just want it to have at least quality. So I would put this to quality. So just that died, so like yeah, I would put this on at least quality here. Quality or high quality, but yeah. Detail is custom because this you could just put custom because you're change it anyway. Put this on the recommended, or you can have it on capped. Those are the two things. Recommended is what your monitor's on, so it'll recommend your monitor's hertz as the FPS. It's like one below for me here because my hertz are technically 359 point something like that, but it goes with this. This is fine. Just put it to the recommended. Don't think about it, or put it to on cap if you have like a little bit in a performance boost, but will like push your system a little bit harder. Extra quality, I have it on quality. You can put this on performance. It's not the end of the world. Just changes slight texture for the wall, but it won't change much. But just keep quality or high or high. A between. World detail, this does change quite a bit. Turn this lower, it's just going to be a little bit like, best way I can say is it's like the outside here, side of the world, like gives me like a little bit more brightness on the outside. It just helps like make the feel. Also barely changes anything. You can put this on quality. Particle effect, put this on performance. Do not need particle details. They're just useless. Same with like the effect intensity, just turn this to. Then into these, the only thing you really want on is shaders because it just helps the field look better in general. So have this all off. It's almost like low contrast. So put that on. It just helps look better. And then dynamic shadows, it helps like the ball, you, the other cars, stuff like that. Turn the most important things I would say to turn off is motion blur and weather effects. You can keep most of these all on, I would say. Wouldn't have this on, but probably depth of field bloom, light shafts, and lens flares. These are all fine. Turn off motion blur and weather effect. The audio, this is just all of this is preference. The only thing I would say is have this on. Don't put it on theater. You won't really be able to hear anything on theater. You'll just hear boost in your engine. So, right. Forward, and then you can have this on. This is actually like that they added this playing with like ion boost or like sparkles or bubbles or something, and you on it'll sound normal. Just good for placebos, but doesn't really matter. All of this is fine. You can turn this off if you don't like having music after somebody scores, but all of this is preference. Most people know what any of these do by just their describes it as well at the bottom there, so out yourself. The chat, the only thing I would say is have information at like a, this is for, if I spam, I got it, I have a Spanish. If I'm on your left, I'm grabbing boost left or right. If I'm faking, I'm going for a pass. Like, you have at least some sort of kickoff comms on these that you can also, like, I would just, if I were you, you could just copy what I have here. There's obviously some better ones for like this, but just make sure these information are actually information and you're not just saying like, or like you're just using it for something like calculated, brutal. Like, you don't want to use these here. Follow what it shows you because it helps you actually have the correct comms to your team, especially nobody uses like voice. would say. That's today's vid. Hope you enjoyed the settings vid. Let me know if I didn't cover anything in here. Want me to like go through something a little bit? Go through here maybe. Just comment down below. Thanks for watching. That's gonna be it. I'll see y'all.